fuck. That's exactly what I said when I seen Tony Harrison pull out of that fight. So the question of the day is Tony Harrison faking an injury? I'm not going to lie. It comes across as exactly that. You know, I'm not going to act like it didn't enter my mind. But then when I double back and I look at Tony Harrison's character, I don't see him doing it, but I don't think he's above doing it. But I really don't think that that's what he did, you know. Like, Tony Harrison put it out there, like, if I wanted to get out this fight, I could have faked the injury. You know, he's already put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are using that as indication that that's what he's doing. But you have to keep in mind, he didn't even have to say that. He didn't have to reveal that to you. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to say, man, this is what I could have did to get out the fight. A, B, and C. And then in the next month or so, he does exactly what he said that he could have did to get out of the fight. I think he's totally aware of how that looks. So that's what makes me think that it's sincere. And once again, you know, you got to look at it like this. Yeah, he can get out of the fight, but you can't delay the inevitable. Okay, so you delayed the fight. Let's say that he is faking it. Okay, you delayed the fight. And you're still going to have to fight him. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he's doing. But I don't think that about Tony Harrison. Most say that, oh, well, Bruce, you're probably a little biased because, you know, he's from your hometown and stuff like that. Yeah. But once again, that's not going to make me biased. You know, I'm going to keep it real with you. If I honestly felt like, man, I think this motherfucker's lying, that's the exact video that you would hear. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I like Tony Harrison or not, I don't pull no punches, you know? But no, because I know the character of Tony Harrison, and I know Tony Harrison believes in his skills, and I know Tony Harrison knows he can beat Jermell Charlo and knows he beats him the first time. So delaying the fight, I don't know what good that's going to do you other than make sure that you're more prepared for the fight. But he still has to fight him no matter what. Period. Now, at the same time, if I was to use some of the same tactics that people are trying to use against Tony Harrison by giving an indication that he doesn't want the fight, and keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with anybody thinking that. I totally understand if somebody think that. But then I have to say this to you. Then what do you think about the WBC having to order that rematch rather than them getting together and make sure that rematch happened on their own? Did you guys think about that? I'm pretty sure you didn't. I'm pretty sure that, you know, that slipped off some of you people's dinner table right there. Yes, if Jermell Charlo was so keen on fighting Tony Harrison, how come the WBC had to order something that should have been automatic? Automatic. Imagine the any one of those sanctioning bodies of belts that Anthony Joshua hold. Imagine that they had to order his rematch with Andy Ruiz. Imagine that. How come you don't want to get your belt back? You know? And since I'm on the subject of these two, a lot of people came to me and they asked me, well, how can you say Jermell Charlo's career would be over if he loses and Tony Harrison is a fighter who's taken a loss and has become champion? And that is a good question. And I'm glad you guys bring this up so I can address this right now. The reason why I say Jermell Charlo's career would be over, number one, you have to look at it like this. Tony Harrison never reached the pinnacle or the level of notoriety or fame or just being known as Jermell Charlo. More people know who Jermell Charlo is than Tony Harrison. So Tony Harrison has never been at Jermell Charlo's level. That's number one. So when he falls, you have to understand he has to have a place to fall from. It's different from falling off your bed and falling off a roof. Okay? It's a big difference. Now, if Jermell Charlo, his whole persona is built off of that tough guy. We don't take no shit. Lions only. I'll bust your head to the white meat mentality. Right? Right? So if he loses, do you understand that he can't shove himself up under that characteristic no more? Can't you understand that he can't wear that identity around no more? Don't you understand that now he's going to have to at least change his mentality as far as the media is concerned of him when it's dealing with boxing? He's going to have to become a different person, because you can't keep that same Charlo talk after you done got your belt ripped off of your ass and you got your ass whooped in the rematch. You can no longer be the same Lions only, keep running your mouth guy. So that's why I say his career would be over with. You know, yes, he could still box, but he would no longer be able to be the same Jermell Charlo. He will now become an Adrian Broner. Yes, Adrian Broner still exists in the boxing world, but is he the Adrian the Problem Broner which he was presented to us at the beginning of his career? No. Now he's known as the Clown Broner. So he can no longer wear that I'm the next heir to Floyd Mayweather crown. That's what I'm saying about Jermell Charlo. He can no longer strap that lion's mane on top of his head. He can no longer say, keep running your mouth. He can no longer be talking all that shit. It is done for. It is done for. So it's do or die that he wins this rematch. But as far as Tony Harrison having an ankle injury, I genuinely believe Tony Harrison got an ankle injury. You know what I'm saying? Genuinely. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, if that's what he said, then that's what I believe, you know. And like I said, that's my opinion, but I just know the character of the guy, you know. And I know that's some fuckboy shit, you know. And just like he said before, if that's what I wanted to do, that's what I could have done. So basically, this is what I'm saying. If it was in him to do, he would have done that first and not tell you about it. Meaning, if that's what he wanted to do, why get on camera and tell you what he could have done to get out of a fight? Why not just do it and not tell you about it? Then you don't have to worry about shit. Then nobody would be saying anything about whether he faked the injury or not. He'll just flat out don't tell you and do the exact thing that he told you he could have done. That's why I say, you know, more than likely, he really do got a ankle injury. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Tony Harrison pull out his fight. And I don't see Tony Harrison being scared of Jermell Charlo at all. But, you know, those are my opinions. It is not fact. Even though I know it to be true, you still got to classify it under an opinion. And I can't prove it. So with that being said, anybody that think that about Tony Harrison, you know, they would have their right to. But just know that he's only delaying, you know, not getting out of anything unless the replacement challenger beats Jermell Charlo, then that's a different story. But other than that, it's just delayed. The fight will happen. Am I mad? Hell yeah, I'm mad, man. I was looking forward like a motherfucker to that fight, man. It's like everything that I'm interested in is just fucking up, you know. But I was really interested in that fight, but I will grow more patience for it because I am extremely interested in that fight. But leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you think, whether it's an injury or whether it's an injury or not, and whether him having an injury doesn't mean that these guys are not going to fight all together. But I understand we're boxing fans and we act like babies sometimes. We want what we want. Anyways, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Bruce Van, I'm out.